So currently in Dallas, Fort Worth, going to the Iron+Mortar Summit. This will be the third year they're having it, the third year they've invited me back out, speak with micro gym owners, you know, jam with those guys for the next 2 days. It's in Portland, Oregon. Never been to Portland. I'm excited though.
What the fuck though?
So I got in my hotel room early. It allowed me an early check-in. I've been here maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes total in Portland. And I'm gonna have a boosted board delivered to me within the hour. And at the push of a button, I can have cannabis delivered to me at any time. So far, Portland, you have a rave review from me. Big fan, big fucking fan.
24 hours later.
Alrighty, day 2 in Portland. Yesterday was dope. We rode around with scooters and boosted boards and went to breweries, and then got to hang out with a bunch of their speakers. We had a speakers dinner, which was really nice. And yeah, just got to see some old faces, meet some new ones. And check this out. That right there, that's Steven Hitz van. Steven's been on the podcast. He owns Industrious. Look at this fucking thing. It's fucking awesome. I just it just blows me away. Like, if an Alex Hormozy, right, or a character-esque type scenario, if that worked, you would have a lawyer launch, you would have you'd have everything launch. Right. Like the idea that you can convince human beings that I have this thing, this collection of ad copy and images and video and landing pages that when put together in a certain organizational equation will bring people, just guarantee bringing people in the door. It just, to me, it's like, you're joking, right? Like, you really believe that. And again, you look at the psychology is the same. Those 6-week challenge ads prey on someone who is overly fat, self-conscious, and desperate. The pitch to the gym owner for these 6-week challenge ads is someone who is underly profitable, desperate, and just at their wits' end, they'll fucking do anything. But that play, I think people are now realizing it's a marketing play. It's not a business model. Right. And when you surround your entire business model around one marketing play, you are now fucked. Because branding, good or bad, if you put out that same gimmicky, ugly fucking shit every quarter for 2 years, that's branding. It's just not good branding. It creates an entire identity. Like, your entire systems get, around high sales, high churn, high sales.
The culture of your staff, the culture of your members, everybody, right?
No gym owner has coaches who are psyched when you run a 6-week challenge. Right. And you get 50 fucking people. And where did these growth numbers come from? Who in the world is like, that would be good math, like for you to grow by 50 members and you have 180?
Well, if you understand the game that you're playing, it's not a good idea.
You're just like, no, that math doesn't work. Plenty of businesses go out of business because they grow too fast, as many as the ones that grow too slow. 100%. Who in the fuck thought it was a good idea to, someone's like, but Stu, we only got 8 leads this month. I'm like, perfect, you closed 7 of them. Right. That's how you netted 2 members this month. That would be 24 on the year, and you have 100 members. That'd be 24% growth.
Fantastic.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This looks like a dumbbell fucked a kettlebell. Is that what this is? This looks like a dumbbell fucked a kettlebell.
What's up, brother?
How are you, man? Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. This guy is an animal. He is.
You ever heard of WTF Gym Talk?
Oh, man.
He runs it. You gotta watch it. You'll learn more about the CrossFit industry.
You'll laugh a little and you might learn something.
Today's
did you watch that shit?
It's outrageous.
Dude, it's fucking... If you were to go back and do it again right now, if you had the opportunity to go back at any point and do something different, what would that be? Regarding the rebranding, would you mind speaking at all? I know you said there was a lot of turmoil around that. What would you say if you could go back and do it again, whether it's from communicating it to staff that causes the turmoil or the communication to the members? Could you talk a little bit to you handing off the business, changing the naming convention, and then even bringing in positions as high as CEO? Because we do reruns. When you've done this 20 to 30 times, you don't need a new post every day. 15 minutes could save you what?
15% or more.
Why the fuck do you know that? Why do you know that? Because you heard it a goddamn million times. The best of your post run over and over. Not the same hour or the same day. but you could run a Monday and, 7 days later. So we collected what I thought were 30 great photos with 30 good pieces of copy, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I guarantee you keep scrolling down our newsfeed, you keep seeing Thomas standing there, barbell in the front rack position. You think anyone's like, I'm kind of interested in this gym, but let me just keep scroll down. Let's see what they've been doing over the past 3 months. They used Thomas 3 times, outfit repeaters. I'm not going there. Yeah, no one's doing that shit. What the fuck Gym Talk posts 9 to 10 videos a day. Number one, the organic algorithm means that if I post 9 to 10 videos, one of you guys, if you like my business page on Facebook, might see 1, maybe 2. So I need a higher volume to potentially hit it. But I've done over 400 videos. What are you gonna do with them? Just sit on them? No, you rinse and cycle them through. I have people tell me like, dude, you're on my news feed all the time. Like, good. And you get to keep the views as of right now. So you'll see videos of mine and it might have 10,000 views on it. You're like, oh fuck, man, he must maybe just dropped that. No, it's probably because I've ran it a bunch of times, and every time it collects a little bit more. Start posting. If you're posting not even once a day consistently, get to 1, and then do that for a month, then get to 2. Do that for a month, then get to 3. An AM, an afternoon, a PM. When? I don't care. 9, 12, and 9, I don't care. 6, 2, and 4, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not when you post, it's what you post. Very chill. All right, guys. What up? This is Stu. This is What the Fuck Gym Talk. And I have JP. How the fuck do I pronounce your last name?
Perlmutter.
Fuck it, we're just going with JP.
Let's do it.
Let's go with JP. Micro gyms in the big cities become very socially, culturally entrenched with the have and the have-nots, right? The different socioeconomic classes.
Sure
like, again, you go to the Knox, like you go to Equinox and you have your Keel iPads and shit like that and your creams and all this.
And they want their key card.
Yeah, absolutely. They want their, the cryotherapy. It's 100%. But if you run in that social circle, there's nothing that's not as acceptable. And we see that in the smaller tier markets. Even in Charlotte, going to a Planet Fitness, you're considered broke. Like,
that's right.
Yeah, you go to a Planet Fitness, it's probably because you are
100%. That creates that kind of like cultural, economic
I was talking about ClassPass. ClassPass is a broke person's play in New York City because Barry's doesn't get on it. Fucking the high-end studios don't get on ClassPass.
That's right.
A lot of the middle-tier studios do, and they kind of have to. But in New York City, if you're on ClassPass, it's because you can't afford to go to Barry's or Rumble or fucking Fitting Room, or you can't afford to have 3 separate memberships.
That's right.
Which a lot of guys will.
So what we do is we try to play the loophole on that. So we'll utilize ClassPass for the off and non-prime hours and limit the amount of spaces we have.
Yep.
And ClassPass actually has we're like a hated necessary evil for them because they need us because we drive so much interest, but we convert a lot of their members.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's like if 15 visits over the course of 3 months, we have a certain percentage likelihood of converting them to ours, and we send them very specific copy. Listen, we're not trying to get you to cheat on your on ClassPass, but we'd love to marry you. Like that, we just joke around with it.
Right.
Very Tinder-esque, right? Very like my market is very Bumble, very Tinder, millennial, all single, that kind of scenario. And that's what ClassPass is. It is the Tinder for fitness, for nomadic fitness, and allows me to just kind of swipe and just try things out. But eventually, someone wants to settle down. They would like to get a consistent routine.
You're doing a good job, and you create the culture, community, and all the other fancy keywords and shit that we try to sell you on.
Yes.
They're going to want to settle in and be a part of it.
Yeah. So creating content versus marketing, let's talk 2 different buckets. Marketing is I have a piece of content with a very specific goal. I want your name, email, and phone number, what we call lead gen, or I want awareness. Okay, I want you to be aware of me. So in the buying cycle, we have 3 phases. There is awareness, consideration, and purchase. Everything you do, everything you ever buy, you go through these 3 cycles. So you're aware of a brand. Oh, okay, that's cool, they do that. Dry Bar, they do blowouts for $35 really quick. Awesome, cool, right? Now I consider them, I do some research, I read a Google review, I ask a friend if they've ever used them, and then I opt in or I don't to purchase. So it's always those 3 cycles. So when we talk about creating content, we can't go in like, I'm making a video because I want to get from awareness to purchase. You're trying to fuck on the first date. You can't. So I'm really big on content creation lives in awareness for a while, and then hopefully they consider you. And when they're considering you, they've already probably seen your content. They might watch some more of it. So one of you guys listened to a soundbite of mine or a podcast or a video, and then you went and you binged or watched a couple more to get some context as to who I was, what I was talking about, and maybe learn something else. That's how we do everything. And then maybe you decide, okay, I'm gonna sit down at his thing. I'm gonna go to the PT first thing, whatever the hell it may be. We don't want to even think about content creation with the idea of purchase. We want to talk about the first 2 stages first. I want you guys to think about when someone's looking at your stuff, Are they being educated or being entertained? And if it's both, it's fucking winner, winner, chicken dinner. The number one reason you don't have more clients right now, Sally couldn't get Tina to go with her. And if you don't believe me, it's because you, as a male especially, you've never taken a yoga class. Fellas, when was the last time you took a yoga class, a real studio yoga class? One time, how long ago? Okay, were you a fit dude then? Did you kind of feel like an asshole when you went in there? It was hot yoga, okay. Anyone who's ever taken a yoga class as a fit person, especially a male, you walk into a female-dominated class and they say, you know, barefoot's a little awkward, but the one thing that CrossFit doesn't help anybody with, I don't care what anyone fucking says, is balance, all right? Your fucking pistols aside, there's no balance training really happening. So you get in, he goes into Warrior 3, which he doesn't know the name of. He audibly doesn't recognize the movement. He has to wait for fucking all the Sallys to do it, and then he breaks into it, and he's a little wobbly, and you're in your head, you're like, I'm gonna domino all these chicks if I fucking fall. It creates anxiety for even a fit male. An alpha fit male. Imagine Sally is walking into your gym and the intimidation level is 10 million X that. And then you really realize the miracle of having an intimidated human being, male or female, really walk into your gym. And you really it gives me goosebumps to even think about the honor of someone going from awareness to consideration, and then the first purchase is walking in your door. That's really the first sale we make in the fitness industry, is them coming on site.
Many hours later.
So listen, I'm pretty sure I've done a horrible job parsing this entire storyline together of things happening, this, that, and the other thing, but it's the last day. This summer went really well, everything ended. It's just hard. You're just talking with people the entire time. It's tough to vlog while you're doing this shit. But anyway, I am on my way to now interview Mr. Jason Khalipa and do a podcast in his room. And then I'm gonna catch a flight and take my fucking red eye back to Charlotte. Fucking. So yeah, that's what this is.
Yep.
Yo, what's up, buddy? How are you?
You know Stu, right?
Thanks for letting me invade your room for the podcast.
What I'm really also interested in is that you utilize this podcast. And so would you say that any owner of a gym needs to provide tools to their members to then
share.
Basically ammunition
Correct.
to go and share?
100%.
So if you're not giving it to them, then they don't have anything to go share,
Yeah.
right? And so the podcast is a really interesting way that I'm intrigued on. I mean, how much success have you actually seen by creating this content? So you give the member the podcast.
Sure.
They share it on, let's just say Facebook. They might have, I don't know, who cares, 500 friends. But that's 500 friends. Maybe the majority of them live in your area.
100%.
It's great marketing, but what have you actually seen? Have you actually had people come in the door because of these things?
So I'm really big on the first line of questioning at Urban Movement that you ask someone. The very first word vomit I tell people is, how did you hear about us? And then there's only 4 sources of what we call origins of procurement. There is search engine, social media, physical location, I drove by or walked by, and then I was actually physically just referred by a friend. Those are the main, I saw something, I search engined you, I social media you, those are the 4. There's 2 follow-up questions each one of those, but to cut to your question, when somebody tells us they came in and they found us via oh, my friend, he does a whatever, we literally record it and write it down. It goes into our CRM and we make a note so that at the end of a month, we can sit back and we can actually have a conversation and be like, all right guys, we signed up, let's say we signed up 9 people this month. Great, we netted 9. Out of those 9 that we netted, where did they come from? What was their origin of procurement? And then give me the qualitative, not quantitative, but qualitative data that tells me that it somehow, through 7 degrees of connection, connects to this thing potentially. Now, there are some that's just a dead end. It's just no, they just drove by and saw us, right? That kind of thing. And that's perfectly fine. But on a long enough timeline, it literally, we start hearing, I know my favorite is when a gym tells me, oh, I had people come in now, they're like, oh, you're the gym that has the podcast she listens to all the time. And they're referring to the member that referred them. She said she's always listening to your podcast.
Again, we're pinpointing specific items for owners, right? We're thinking about how do we, these are longer tail items.
Yes.
I agree, with maybe some short, benefit, but long tail. And the thing I love about what you're talking about, both the things you're about to share, is that they're completely in your control.
Sure.
The podcast is 100% in your control. You don't have to worry about any algorithm
Yeah.
or any boosting capabilities, right? So tell me about what do you do for the local companies and what byproduct have you seen from that? 'Cause it's a little interesting.
100%. And one thing I'm going to say, you and me produce so much content, we take it for granted. Do you know how much fun it is, the gym owners that tell me when they start doing this? All right, so the weekend's over. I just got done with the interview with Khalipa. That was dope. You guys probably saw a little bit of that there. And yeah, now I'm going to go grab some provisions for my flight. It's a long fucking flight. It's nonstop all the way from Portland to Charlotte. It's going to be fucking 6 goddamn hours. I don't even know. So Gonna go grab some sleep medicine, and yeah, and then I'm gonna head to the airport. A couple guys already there. We'll probably get a few drinks, and that's it. This place is fucking amazing. It looks like a goddamn Apple store in there. So it's gonna be night time for my fucking 6-7 hour, whatever the fuck it is, plane ride. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you next time.